It's 5 o'clock. I'm calling the meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Bill Tomei.
Here.
Steve Rolando.
Here.
Jackie Stanley.
Here.
Deb Lehman here. Leroy Blake.
Here.
Bob Wright.
Here.
Brooks McGugan.
Here.
Ike White.
Here.
Carrie Lynn Durham.
Here.
Okay, all is present. Any discussion on last meeting's minutes? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any public comments? Chiefs report.
Happy Monday. It has been a Monday, but a good thing. Just a reminder when, make sure you're using your microphone when you talk so we can get through the Zoom, and then Ms. Durham can hear as well too. Well, happy Monday. First thing I want to do, you should have received an email from me. If you didn't, our annual awards and promotion ceremony will be Saturday, March 8th. That will be same place we had it last year. That'll be at the Citadel, Mark Clark Hall on the second floor. We had several commissioners in attendance last year and had a really, really nice day. So we'll feed you breakfast, start at 9:30 a.m. We'll have breakfast and recognize our personnel for their accomplishments in 2024, which were numerous as well. We had a little bit of a winter storm, and then, it was 90 degrees this weekend. So it's sure that's fine. We did have a winter storm, and really want to thank my staff for how well they prepared as well. It was very quiet for us. I mean, very, very quiet. And I appreciate, the messaging. People stayed home, which was good. Some didn't have a choice with school closed, but which made it really, really nice to keep our people indoors and off the icy roads as well too. The real issues we had wasn't so much storm, but really the day after the storm where everything froze overnight. So we would get some of that sun bake, it would wet the roadways, and then it would ice up. We had an issue getting our members off to and on and off Kiowa as well because of the bridge and parkway being ice as well too. But we planned ahead. So we went ahead and worked with a third-party vendor that came to our maintenance facility with pallets of salt and a salt truck as well too, and said, if we need you, you'll be here. And good news is when that parkway iced up, we deployed them down, and they deployed salt on the roads and stuff like that as well too. And I do want to say, I think much from the last time I was here for an ice snowstorm, the county and DOT they were working hard, and they were out here on Johns Island and Wamala numerous times. We gave them several roads to go, the big passageways to hit, and they'd be out there a few hours later getting after them. So I can't complain too much there. They were taking care of us as well too. So that was the storm. During the storm was supposed to be captain's testing. We had to postpone that. That actually starts tomorrow. Today, we're doing our budget cycle a little bit differently. So today we started our budget retreat. So we camped out at an offsite location today, and want to give kudos particularly to my assistant chiefs and their respective staff members as well too. We asked them to produce their budgets for their pieces of the puzzle as well too, and all of them went to significant lengths and did a really, really good job presenting what their wants and needs are for next year as well too. And we'll balance those wants and needs with our budget as well too. But they did a really, really good job of producing that, and then that enabled myself, Chief Ensign Danielle, to hear those things, why, the justification behind certain things, and make sure that we have a really, really strong budget for the next fiscal year as well too. So thank you to my staff on that as well too. Last month, we supported several of our members through the Fire Service Improvement Conference. This is a conference that is local in South Carolina and Columbia as well too. So we supported several of our members that came back with really, really good things to say, and did really, really well in the training. It's some great training that our state puts on Also, last week we hosted an officer development course. We had a group out of Chicago that were some retired firefighters, and that was having tough conversations. And we talked a lot about accountability and responsibility and how we have those conversations with our subordinates and our peers and those above us too. Sometimes you have to confront people and go from there. So giving them the tools outside of, we only spend a very small percentage of our time on actual incidents. All that time spent in the fire station and on the training grounds. And a lot of those revolve around conversations as well too. Unfortunately, last month, all this good news. Unfortunately, last month we did have a bed bug issue at our stations. This is pretty, I think every few years this kind of comes up, and I'm not minimizing that in any way, but as soon as we did, we had a company out there right away that mitigated it at the one station. We found a couple of areas of some other stations, and then we had all of our stations inspected as well too. So we have hopefully corrected that issue too. We're also looking at in next year's budget, or if we can fit it in at the last issue budget, replacing all the mattresses at all of our stations as well too, which is no cheap feat. It's about 55 mattresses. So that helps with that. So
Do you have like a pest control schedule?
we do. So we have contracts with Terminix and just a couple other stations. Yeah, that Ledford that come and do all of it, and then also some bed bug treatments as well too. But these little guys,
Persistent.
it's it is what it is. And it's we go in and out of people's homes, and that's not. I'm not trying to talk down to anybody as well too, but they're in close contact with people's clothing, with people's furniture, things like that. 100 different reasons why you could have a bed bug issue as well too. But kudos to our team. They went ahead and tackled that right away and got that under control quickly. So coming up here, March 1st will be our switch over to McGriff Insurance. So we're leaving, as you remember, we're leaving the PIBA platform for health insurance and going to McGriff. We're still on a Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. We've enhanced those plans while also saving the district quite a bit of money as well too. And because we save that money, we're able to offer some benefits to our employees like short-term disability that's employer paid and not a big thing. So thank you to Teresa. She's been working hard on that changeover. They've needed a lot of data from her as well too. And I want to say it's very important when we talking about people and stuff for next year that she has 145 people that work here and all the other things. She needs the help. So we're gonna try to fund a position to help her full time as well too. Speaking of that, would you like to give your HR report?
Betty.
Hello.
Good to see you. I was going to say morning. Yeah, it feels like it's still morning. Just a few things. The recent hiring, we hired our 2 recruits for the academy in Columbia. That's coming up in March. So they start here March 12th for a few days with training. And then they go up to Columbia March 17th on St. Patrick's Day. And they'll go through the recruit academy and then followed by EMT, the whole thing. They'll be all done. So that's exciting. We've had 2 separations, one captain last day or exit interview was this morning. And the staff accountant that you met, unfortunately, it's just too far. It just didn't work out. So Danielle and I have 6 interviews scheduled for the next couple of days. So we'll on virtual first, and then we'll bring in hopefully a couple of them. And workers' comp, we have 1 firefighter off at the moment. Any questions? And yes, my head's in insurance. If you ever need me, please, it's okay. But I'm head down with the insurance for the next couple of weeks. All right.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
Chief Prowse, would you like to review any incidents? Numbers?
Good afternoon. So for the month of January, we had a total responses to incidents of 311. Broken out, we have 194 to Johns Island, 43 to Kiowa, 26 to Seabrook, and 48 to Bottomlaw. Don't have any significant incidents to report. I do want to add to Chief's earlier report. We were requested out of Lexington to send a captain up to be a part of a captain's assessment process. So 4th largest department in the state's reaching out to St. John's for input on future leaders for the organization. We're pretty proud of the progress we're making there. So
Thank you.
Good. We talked a little bit, I know we'll go over committee meetings and I'll have a few more things to address when we get to committee reports as well too. And we talk about value and things. So really kind of diving now with Stephanie, full-time diving in, we're fully trying to utilize our incident reporting system to its capabilities. So we're looking at things when we talk about value of what impacts things like our response time and stuff like that. One of those is turnout time. Turnout time is when you get the call to when you click and route in the truck as well too. And we need to make improvements in those areas as well too. And I say that just as we go deeper in, our goal is to provide you with more statistics and data so that when you can make decisions on things as well too, but you also know what we need to work on as well. So.
Chief, can we add that to the dashboard that we have?
Yeah, we can. So we did one. Kiowa Public Safety wants us to produce a report with a little bit more detail, which we do outside of just kind of the basic incident statistics. It wouldn't be too difficult. We've got to do this anyway, but extrapolate that over the entire district as well too, and go from there. So, sir.
Would it offer any value to us to indicate whether or not it's city of Charleston or county property?
That we track that. So what happens on their reporting, in their incident reporting, there's it's basically auto aid received or given. So let's say we've responded to a fire that's in the city. On our reporting side, it says automatic aid given. Yes. And then if they're coming to us, they're supposed to do that. That incident data is pretty accurate, but sometimes it's difficult for our people to understand, not necessarily understand, but actually difficult for our people to know, was this a city property or a county property? Because we still do have quite a bit of, if you go down by like the Wicks, some houses are city, some are. So, but we do a pretty good job of that as well too, but we know really what we're going to most of the time. So I think I'm done.
Chief, it's like a balance of trade issue. Are we giving more than we're receiving?
Sure. So you can say that probably about engine one. So engine one on Maybank Highway is, pretty much cornerstoned by the city of Charleston. A lot of incidents that they're responding to are in Charleston. We haven't really run that data report recently, but historically it's been really kind of a 60-40, 70-30 imbalance there as well too. So I did attend the groundbreaking for their new fire station. So when we make decisions here in the future about that site and where our people are going, that plays into it a little bit. But other than that, engine 7 on this end picks up a little bit of that. But for the most part, on the south end of our district and working down, it's mostly our properties that we're responding to. So one would be the exception. Good. So.
And then I would imagine the city of Charleston that's there at the corner of Maybank and Bohicket, the opposite is true.
They pick up quite a bit of ours too. So there's a good section of actually Wamala that engine 17 down the street is first due to, just because it's all location-based dispatching, right? So it's the closest, it's the closest units there. So if it's, again, if it's on Wamala at the Fork, sometimes engine 117 picks that up because they're just closer than the unit on Liberia Road. So it kind of depends on where it went. But
Okay.
done.
And financial resource.
Nearest unit. So
Hey there,
Happy Monday.
Monday. Okay, so the January report. The operating expense budget remaining goal is 41.67%, and we are trending at 43.81%. The bank balances as of January 31st include the operating account at around 8.2 million, the LGIP account at around 13,000, our 2021 Good Bond account at $83, our 2022 Good Bond account at around 25,000, our 2023 Good Bond account at around 379,000, and our 2024 Good Bond account at around 16.9 million. In January, we collected retiree reimbursements and insurance reimbursement of 4,000, and we're starting to collect that Kiowa Island paramedic payment. Our December collections from Charleston County was around 4.1 million. And then for the month of January, our operating expenditures year to date is at 11.5 million, including encumbrances. Our base pay percentage is at 87%. And we are seeing a 6.13% increase in tax revenue compared to this time last year.
Yep, the big one will come next month. Well, we'll see that it'll come this month. We'll report on that next. So those are the two big ones are January and February.
Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you. Attorney update.
It has been a busy month from my perspective. We ramped up quickly, I think, but negotiating a number of contracts and drafting a couple of them, providing significant feedback on a few, in particular, the architect award on Station 5 and some other issues. As you know, further negotiations on the settlement with St. John's Water, which I believe would be appropriate to go into executive session tonight about continuing to follow up with Charleston County on the Kiowa River Estates. I will continue to follow up with them. I don't have an answer as to why it's not ready. The last follow-up, they told us it was at their legal department. So hopefully soon we'll be able to come back on that one. But, as always, I remain available, and I know, I've talked to quite a number of you over the month, and I remain available for small, large questions, whatever you need. So hopefully everybody has my cell phone, but I'll make sure after the meeting as well. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there any unfinished or old business? Okay. New business. We're going to discuss the approval of the contract with Ilio for the building design services for Station 5. Bill?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
Bill, not to take your, but I'll
Okay.
kind of explain. I didn't print out the contract for everybody because it's a fairly lengthy document and it's just some boilerplate. There were some things we're still working on as well too. You would be approving that the initial contract that was sent over as well too. There are some things we still have to negotiate that aren't going to affect the progress of this fire station moving forward, but it's some contract language protecting us and them going back and forth that we would come back for you to ratify just an amendment to that agreement as well too. But pretty straightforward. This would allow us then it'd be contract with Leolio. I'm guessing Bill's got some more specifics on dollar amounts for you as well too. But that would be for their design services for Station 5, and then we can get that project started. Bill, anything else? Okay. Yeah, sorry, I didn't have the, I can find it real quick. I didn't have the number in front of me. I
Okay,
can get
well, I
that.
was going to say, we're going into committee reports and it's building committee, so we can roll right into.
That's fine. That number is about 600,000.
Right, okay.
It's just under 10% of the estimated cost for the new fire station. Building committee did meet last Thursday, I believe it was. We, besides discussing the Leolio's current contract with the Station 5, we also discussed or looked at RFPs, requests for proposal or requests for qualifications, rather, RFQs from 8 architects. And at that meeting, we selected 3 of those 8 for further interviews. So we will meet with those 3 architects, and I'll tell you who they are in a minute, on this Friday, starting at 8:30 is our interviews. So
Oh, I thought it was the 21st.
I'm sorry.
Next, the following
You're right. It is the
Yep.
21st. Yep. Thank you. So starting at 8:30 on Friday, the 21st, and I will send out a reminder to all the building committee. At that point, we will listen to their interviews and hopefully shortly thereafter, we'll make a selection. So the 3 architects are Court Atkins, Glick Beam, and Leolio. Same Leolio that's looking at Station 5. That's it.
Thank you. Finance Committee, we had a combined meeting on January 22nd. It was finance, HR, and strategic. And we basically focused on strategic, and anything strategic obviously has financial ramifications. HR was part of it because we talked a lot about personnel or / compensation and benefits. So that's obviously the majority of our budget. I think it's like 99% of our budget or something like that.
Feels-
So what's that?
Feels like it.
Yeah. It's in the 90%. So I think we had a nice foundation for you then to move forward on the 2026 budget so that you got, some input from commissioners and a nice groundwork. And saying that, I know that you just said, you had a joint meeting. When you're ready in March, before the March commission meeting, that you want a finance committee meeting to discuss the 2026 budget of what your final draft is, just let me know what that date is. And I will invite not just the finance committee, but I'll make sure that all the commissioners are aware when it is in case you want to join us. But I think the due date for the budget is after our commission meeting, I hope.
It is.
Okay.
Yep.
So
The plan would be, we can have a joint finance, human resources. It's really both. Our goal is sometime before that March commission meeting is to have, some different things for you to look at as far as, compensation schedule, long-term planning as well too, so that we can, make that decision of how we want to move forward. And then we'll present that, full budget. We'll get all the other budget stuff knocked out at that meeting too, but then we can come to the March meeting armed with information so that we can have a good budget for this year and then have a plan moving forward for the future.
okay, very good. Any questions? Okay, human resource.
Commissioner Lehman that mentioned in a joint meeting, basically compensation. Chief, I don't know if you want to elaborate any on that.
Sure. And I think what Ms. Lehman said as well too, we came to the commission to discuss pay of all of our members, compensation, salary, and then also talk about schedule as well too, and pros and cons and benefits of different schedules and how we work to achieve, and if it's even feasible to work towards goals in the future to enhance the lives of our firefighters, but also our administrative staff that work hard as well too. So again, we'll just go through some different, I'll give you a couple different soups to try, and we'll, to make light of it, but we'll need to make some decisions. I think we're at a point now, we need to make some decisions for a long-term future and addressing what those costs look like in the long term and see what's feasible, what's not, and try to take care of our people as much as possible.
Like strategic?
With all our future planning and everything, everything's sort of intertwined with financing and everything else. We are coming along really well with the project on River Road at Station 5 and Kiowa on the state. We briefly touched on some areas in our district that we could look at because we all know we have a railway right here in our district. What if something happens there with that overpass and stuff like that? We kind of like thinking all the boxes over, but it can happen. We don't know exactly what all goes through there, but it's good to kind of sit, think, and wonder about that and ponder on it a little bit. If something does happen, we should be prepared for that. There's some other things, but I'll just hold it right there and follow up on it on next meet and let you know what I came up with, along with others, just to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Spencer?
Yes. Yes.
Bill, do you want to make the motion for Ilio?
Yes.
Do we need to discuss anything further about that contract in the executive session, or is it all set?
I think we're all set. I think so what happened was they sent the contract over. Ms. Whitmore took a look at it. There was a couple, just some verbiage and a couple questions related to that contract to where there's been some back and forth with Leolio and David Myers involved as well too. The initial contract, we feel is ready to be, you can approve that. If there's any changes to that document, we would come back the next month and ratify those changes.
And Chief, if I may
Yeah.
add to that, I think certainly just for the purpose of awarding the contract and going ahead and selecting the architect so that you can move forward, I think it's appropriate. If you're comfortable with it, you could certainly even make the motion that you approve it and give authority to chief to negotiate this. We're only down to the dispute resolution, whether it's, litigation or arbitration, and then making sure that the insurance amounts are sufficient to cover any claims that we may have to make down the road if there's a design defect. But if you're comfortable with it, you could certainly make the motion to not come back, or you can make the motion to approve and bring any changes back before the commission.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the contract with Leo Architects for station number 5 with the option of being able to make any final changes later on.
I said, second.
Second that.
Okay. Any questions before we vote? Okay, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, any abstain? Okay. All right, public or firefighter comments? Quiet group. Commissioner comments, we'll start down there, Ike. Commissioner comments?
Yes, I just like to reiterate that it's good to sit here on the panel and hear everybody working together as one. When any organization come together and everybody works together, things work so much better. I'd like to thank our attorney that she's working hard helping us straight and tell all your personnel that we appreciate what they're doing and we'll never forget about them and their family. Thank you.
Brooks?
I concur with what I had to say and congratulate Chief that he's doing a good job pulling this wagon and sound like he'll get through the ice and snowstorm. Good. Thank you for that, as well as the employees that were on the trucks.
Bob?
I'd just like to thank everyone for what they do. We depend upon you. Just thank everyone for what they've done. Residents out there depend on us. And I think we fulfill that mission pretty well. Thank you.
Leroy?
Okay. Again, ditto.
I want to make sure you're heard.
Thank you guys for doing all that you do. I left here on a very, very sad note. Couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, made it back here on last Friday night. And we thought we were leaving the snow, but it followed us to Florida. One of the things that one of my friends from Dorchester County sent me was on one of their trucks, they had snow change. That was unusual. They've had several conversations over the years about having snow change for the trucks. But Dorchester County is a whole lot different than Johns Island and Charleston County. So they got a whole lot more back roads to take care of that are county roads than we do. So, but again, thank you guys for all you do. I got all the reports of my friends kept going over to the house, making sure that nothing froze or nothing snapped while I was gone. And the only thing that got damaged was the orange tree. So, guess I'll buy another orange tree, but thank you.
Bill?
I have nothing further to add to that.
It's been said.
Jackie?
So am I.
Yeah, by the time we get to the bottom, it's like, thank you, and ditto. Yeah. Carrie Lynn?
Ditto to everything that has been said. Thanks to everyone and everyone stay safe. See y'all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to go to executive session. We are going to discuss legal advice relating to the St. John's Water Agreement, and we're also going to have a discussion on personnel related to the fire chief. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? All righty. Go to executive session.
Hey, well, I remember the man going under the water. Yeah, so he ran there, go be on Jones Island, and he showed up here. You see, North Charleston went, and it's way over in, 61.
Yeah.
Those, Boston track. Yeah.
Yeah.
That belonged to North Charleston.
Right.
Yeah, they jumped the river.
Jumped the river.
That's how they got over here.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Durham, you can hear us?
You got it.
Yes.
Okay, great. You can if you want.
Yes.
Just want to make sure, we have when the motion's made and then the second is captured on the microphones, please.
Everybody on? Want to turn your microphones on, please? Okay, we are officially back in session. We do have one new business to discuss. We have the approval authorizing our district attorney to enter into a settlement agreement with St. John's Water District, resolving pending litigation and dispute. So I'd like to make a motion to approve this. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Thank you.
So Spencer has a new title, district attorney.
I thought that's what y'all had.
That's what it
advertised
is.
the
We're a
job
fire
description. I was like,
district.
I guess y'all can call it whatever you want.
Should we call it fire district attorney?
However y'all want to phrase it is fine with me.
Okay. Any other items before we adjourn? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Thank you very much. Have a good evening.